Hi everyone. Thanks for coming back for week 13 of BCPL, Bullitt County Public Library's Create a Family Recipe Cookbook. Now, I've shared a whole lot of recipes, some amazing things from some fabulous cooks. I've talked about very interesting, very positive and upbeat, I hope, recipes and ideas for you to use to create your own family cookbook. But now I'm going to get a little bit personal, and I'm going to ask you to write a page for your cookbook that tells of your biggest mistake. Now, I'm not asking you to put yours on the internet, so cut me a little slack here, okay? Don't judge me. So, for week 13, my biggest mistake. Well, it was my first pot of beans as a newlywed. I'm sure they were pintos. My husband loves that. What I remember is the broth was delicious. The beans were tender, so they weren't undercooked. My husband always liked white rice with his, so I'm pretty sure I would have done that. And probably a pan of cornbread. Now, and also a ham hock. That's very important when you're cooking beans. So, I felt pretty good. We're sitting down to eat. My husband was very complimentary, but after a couple of bites, he did ask, well, why are the beans crunchy? Crunchy, I asked. And he said, yes, like maybe when you washed and rinsed the beans, you didn't get all of the dirt out. Wash them? I asked. And my husband laughed and said, yes. Well, it turns out I had not washed the beans. I'd watched my mother do that. I'd watched her sort through the beans and then rinse them. But I didn't really think it was a necessary step. And, you know, I'm a modern cook. What does my mom know? So, my biggest mistake recipe page would be to follow pretty much any recipe that involves cooking beans from the dried stage. If you were to pull out a bean recipe, pretty much any recipe for beans, it says rinse the beans, or it might say sort and rinse the beans. I can tell you that's pretty necessary, and it's not like I can forget this. It's brought up quite a bit, and of course, every time I'm standing at the sink rinsing out the beans before I put them in the pot to soak, I remember it. What was your biggest mistake in cooking? And do you have a recipe?